Let's talk about Crash Bandicoot 5. Yeah, that's right. You're hearing me right. Crash Bandicoot 5. I'm talking about that right now. So, let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a brand new video. So it's been over a year since Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time has come out. I know, right? Time's been going crazy. It's been loved by many and enraged by more. But now that a year has passed, I wanted to talk about the idea of a future sequel. I wanted to look at Crash 4 and see what they did right, what they did wrong, and what could use adjusting, and expand upon all three. Now, this is not an evidence video where I go in and explain how and why Crash Bandicoot 5 is happening. This is a video where I just explain my wants and wishes for the next game. If you want to be negative about the future of Crash Bandicoot, then feel free to leave. In fact, I'll even give you outro music. Okay, now that they're gone, here are 5 things that I would love to see in Crash Bandicoot 5. Number 1. Fixed inverted levels. Okay, raise your hand if playing through some of the inverted levels actually caused you physical pain and made you hate your life. Because guess what? I'm raising both hands. The inverted levels is literally the only thing that I hated in Crash Bandicoot 4. The platforming, amazing. Graphics, great. Music, even better. Inverted levels, not so much. I was perfectly fine with a mirror mode. It's an interesting take on the platforming scene, and I also didn't mind some of the level effects. In fact, I enjoyed a lot of the early levels. The paint the world concept in the pirate world was really fun, and the sonar echolocation like stuff on Insanity Island was also really cool. But then we hit later in the game and we hit something like the prehistoric level and ugh. I don't know what they were thinking when they slapped some of these filters on, because it sends me from happy to migraine in 10 seconds or less. Also, a lot of these inverted levels don't actually change the gameplay almost at all. They just slapped some Instagram filters on it and said it was good. Some levels actually did change the gameplay a little bit, but it was a minor change, like slowing the level down or speeding it up. Essentially, inverted levels just was not even close to my cup of tea. It was more like just a bowl of suffering. Also, with the side character missions and their repeated levels, which we're going to get into later, there are certain levels that have you replay that level at minimum 6 times if you want to 100% the game. The inverted mode makes repeating those levels over and over again a big drag sometimes. If we want to continue using inverted mode, then I think there's a few things that need to be fixed. First off, maybe remix the level a little bit. Sure, make the majority of it a mirror mode of the level it's based on, but maybe adjusting how the level actually progresses would be nice. Next, if you want to use filters, let's make sure that they don't burn our eyes out. And lastly, I don't want to look for a hidden gem. And if we already are dealing with a massive amount of filters and effects, finding those hidden gems are really, really annoying. Just having the completion gems is great. But if the hidden gem is needed and the developers are persistent about that, then let's not hide them in some of the worst spots imaginable. Some of the hidden gems in inverted modes are actually the worst things I have ever seen in the franchise history. I'm looking at you, Blast of the Past. You're actually the worst. Number 2, the triple spin. So it's normal at the end of a Crash Bandicoot game to get some kind of a new traversing ability to be able to help you race through the levels faster and allow you to really get those plat times in the time trials. The triple spin is a unique one. I want to start by saying, I don't hate it. There is a lot of people that have argued and praised over this mechanic. I do like it better than the speedy boots that you get at the end of Crash Bandicoot Warped, because while the triple spin is harder to use, the sheer amount of amazing plays that you can do with it makes you look like an absolute boss. Meanwhile, the speedy boots, you just hold down one button and just kind of go. But even with that, I don't think it's the best method. I think that it's a little finicky and can cause frustration at times. It can also be really annoying to be constantly smashing the square button over and over and over again just to go fast. I think something that's in between the speedy boots and the triple spin would work. Maybe chaining slides and spins together. Or maybe a pair of jet boots that would dash Crash forward. I'm not sure in terms of ideas, but something that would kind of fit in the middle I think would benefit a lot of people. Number 3. New mask abilities. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would we change the mask abilities? They're awesome. And I don't think that they should change, but I think a new secondary ability should be added. Each mask has the ability to do one thing and one thing only. I think it would be awesome if they could actually do 2 things to really enhance the game more and bring in new obstacles and new enemies. I actually want to dive into this in its own video, so I'll be brief with this one as I'm mentioning it. But maybe Akano can shield Crash from certain attacks, or suck objects into a little black hole. Maybe Crash can rewind time with Kapunawa. Maybe instead of phasing objects in and out of reality, Lonnie Loli can phase Crash in and out of existences. And maybe Ika Ika can not flip Crash, but flip the entire stage. There are a lot of ideas that can be done with the masks, and again, I want to explore this more in depth in a separate video. Number 4. Full side character missions. The side character missions were amazing in Crash Bandicoot 4. Tana felt more like an acrobatic Crash and Coco, Dingodile felt heavy, floaty, and fun, and Cortex is, well, he has his moments. But overall, the side characters were a great break from the normal game and gave a new and fresh point of view in terms of gameplay. I also love seeing how the side characters interact with Crash and Coco on their adventures, whether it be intentionally or unintentionally. But want to know one of my biggest issues with the side playable characters? For all intents and purposes, they basically only have one dedicated level. For the rest of the game, with the exception of the Snacks Dimension, you share the level with Crash and Coco, where you play through as a side character for the first half and then switch to Crash and Coco for the second half to replay a part of the level that you've already played, but with boxes and hazards moved around a bit. I think that the levels should end at the part where they help Crash and Coco out and make the levels an actual full-length level with the new side character. They all play great, and I would love to have more dedicated time with them. Number 5. New side characters. I think bringing in new side characters would be one of the biggest selling points for the next game. While I love Tana and Dingodile, I think characters from other Crash games in the series would be a great way to really market the game and acknowledge their existence, like Willy Wumpa Cheeks. I'm just joking. Maybe there's a few others that are a little bit more recognizable in the Crash fanbase, like Crash Bandicoot or Nina Cortex. These two are fan favorites and would add to the game's lore and depth. Not to mention, Crunch is already mentioned on the fridge in Rude Awakening, and Nina is in the post-game credits in the reference to Wumpa League. Anyway, would you like to see these features added to Crash 5, or do you have other ideas? Comment below and let me know.
Thank you so much to all those who not only support the channel, but myself and my family. Because of your contributions, I'm able to do this full time. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider clicking the join button or becoming a Patreon with the link in the description. I also live stream every Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and say hi. Again, thank you to everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video and or live stream.